This is going to be a lot less formal and edited than a usual review, but I gotta break the block and sometimes I get inspired by stuff out of nowhere. I've been keeping an eye on Deedlit and Wonder Labyrinth ever since it got announced a few months back, and now that it's in early access, I'd like to share a couple of first impressions. First off, let me start by saying I've only heard the name record of Lodoss War, in passing, and have absolutely no knowledge whatsoever about this franchise, but I am 100% down for more Team Ladybug games after Touhou Luna Nights. I imagine it'll end up being like Luna Nights in that it helps to know the basics of the source material, but it won't be required. So far you can pick up what you need to know pretty quickly, and in between now and the release I'll probably watch the anime. If you're familiar with Luna Nights UI, a lot of that carries over with some minor differences as expected, but being so similar even to the point of having the same boot up screen was kinda funny. Otherwise, graphics are looking fine, with the art style being very consistent and a bit more natural looking. The backgrounds also look pretty good, a detail I only noticed when I went back over this footage. Symphony of the Night explicitly seems to be the biggest inspiration so far, but we'll see if that changes at all. Gameplay-wise, this is much more traditional than Luna Nights was, as you have many options for melee weapons as your primary attack, and MP is consumed only when an ability is used, rather than managing MP and time for all attacks. You also have a bow with unlimited arrows for ranged attacks, but it's more used for ricochet puzzles to open up paths. Still does decent damage, so don't forget to use it. I want to say the level design feels a lot more open-ended, though I managed to take what seems to be the recommended or expected path. Differing areas flow a bit better in between, but that could also be because there's no titles popping up to interrupt. There are locked doors, but so far the only way to get past them is to step on a switch at one point to unlock them, and it didn't happen right after a boss, but while exploring part of the dungeon. They kinda have an Ikaruga thing going on with the two familiars you use, where you pass through projectiles if you match, and certain enemies take damage or more damage if you've got the opposite selected. The flying mechanic works out pretty well by letting you only hover so much off the ground, but for a long period of time. It might be unlimited, I'll have to check. The fire one is mainly used to ignite explosive barrels to clear a path. Attacking enemies while having one active gives you cubes to power up the other, going from level 1 to 3. Increasing the level gives you higher attack power, and once you hit 3, will start to regenerate health when that attribute is active. As long as you can access your map super quickly in a Metroidvania, you're doing okay, but I do like having a small mini-map on the in-game screen as a preference to see what immediate options for adjacent rooms are available. While Touhou didn't have that, Lodoss does, and I am grateful. There's not a whole lot of content right now, 2 bosses and maybe 2 to 3 separate areas, but the base is set. It's $13 right now, and I guess that price would go up once it launches out of early access to around Luna Nights' price of $18. If the dev cycle is the same too, we'll be getting areas individually as they come out at a steady pace. As for whether or not to buy, I will recommend this game once it comes out, but otherwise I only got around 30 minutes in before I hit the end of what's available. Keep an eye on it though. I'll probably hold off playing the rest until the game is completed. All in all, looking very much forward to how Lodoss shapes up. The foundation is here with some nice improvements over Luna Nights, so I only hope they nail the rest of the game. And from what I've seen, I've got confidence this will be a solid title. Best of luck to the developers. Between this and Touhou, these guys have rejuvenated my love for this genre, and I'll probably look into a few more. Thank you for watching.